Ladies and gentlemen, here we are ready for the Banjo-Tooie run with EmoArbiter, any percent on N64. EmoArbiter, how you doing today? Perfect. Thanks for being with us. It's a pleasure to have you on our stream. So how are you feeling about your run today? Perfect. That's great.
New run's a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time.
Awesome. Can you give you a quick rundown of what your run's going to be about?
Yeah, so I'm doing Banjo-Tooie any percent, which is just beat the game as fast as possible without using in-game cheats.
Perfect. So straight to the point. I like that. All right, everyone, let's hear it for EmoArbiter. Let's get some hype. It's Banjo-Tooie, childhood classic, and it's all yours, so take it away. Ready on your mark.
All right, so real quick, I want to explain before the run why I'm starting from a file that has progress. There's a collectible in the game called Jinjos. There's 45 of them, and they come in upwards of 30 patterns. And there's one pattern to rule them all that's just so much better than every other pattern. And so instead of sitting here resetting for our 1 in 30 whatever chance 10 minutes into the run, we just have a file that we know has the perfect pattern. It takes 3 seconds to find out since it's determined the moment you start the game. We just go from there. So this file hasn't done anything except skip the opening cutscene. So that's all the explanation I need beforehand. I am ready whenever. It's not on stream yet. All right, I'm ready in 3, 2, 1, go. So this action-packed beginning here, first thing we're going to do is skip talking to the fish by going over him. Then we're going to go up and around a lazily programmed cutscene trigger to talk to the first boss. Run over here, grab some shoes to go fast. I was going to miss the jump there. We're going to grab some eggs so we can shoot him instead of going to hit him. So the first boss we're coming into here is Klungo. We fight him 3 times normally in the game. We're going to fight him 2 in this run. He has 3 different sort of potions he drinks that give him different abilities. There's the red potion makes him big, green potion makes him invisible, blue gives him clones. Green is the fastest, so that's the one I'd like to see here. Blue is second fastest, which is okay. Since I fight him twice, I have to get 2 of them. Red is the slowest because it has the slowest death animation. So blue's fine. Blue is the hardest. I'm going to go for something we call the YOLO shot, where we try to shoot at him from far away while he's making his clones. If I miss it, it's not a huge deal. So now he's going to make 3 clones. There's a certain spot to stand in where I can shoot between the first and last clone he makes. Okay. So it was just bad luck. The clone got in the way. There wasn't really much I could do there. So I'm just going to walk up and hit him this time.
So real quick while we're watching the cutscene play out, I want to go ahead and say that we're really excited to show off Banjo-Tooie. For those of you who don't know, Banjo-Tooie Any Percent used to be just a very boring run, lots of cutscenes. Really the only thing that you could do was optimize your movement. I mean, there were a couple tricks here and there, but it was just a really, really boring speedrun to watch. And about a month ago, another Banjo-Tooie runner, Captain Cole, who isn't with us today, but he'll be with us when we showcase it at SGDQ, he found a way to enter the second level early without having to open it. And that completely changed the route. So now Any Percent is actually really exciting.
There we go.
Nice.
So that is, no joke, probably the hardest trick in this run. It's a very precise backflip. If you hit the house at any point, it's going to slow you down. You're not going to make it. The reason that's possible is because when you do the ground pound, Banjo goes up a little bit right before he comes down. And so you use that split second to get on top of the house. And those 20 notes will come in handy later.
Yeah, so normally in the original Any Percent, we didn't have to grab that treble clef. But now that the route has completely changed, we grab it early because we need a certain amount of notes to get Bill Drill. And we get Bill Drill in this run, which is different than the previous Any Percent. We used to not get Bill Drill. Emo has to do 2 more ground pounds before like the run can continue. So he's going to do another one to get into the level lobby plateau, and then he's going to do another one to get into Glitter Gulch Mine early. So some of the top runners, they have now changed this split to 3 ground pounds or 3 beak busts.
Yeah, this is probably the most technically difficult section of the game. I say this for sitting here watching a cutscene, but... So walk over here into Bottles' house. There's one really, really big trick that makes any percent so short called Delayed Cutscene Warp. We'll explain the different parts of it as I get to them. It takes place over the whole course of the run. But the first part of it is I need the goggles that let me zoom in from Bottles' kid here. We don't actually use these in any other category except in any percent. I was able to dodge talking to that kid there. He can sometimes be a little tricky. So we come out here. Jiggy Wiggy's going to tell us, I'm Jiggy Wiggy. This is my temple. You come talk to me. But we don't really like Jiggy Wiggy, so we're just going to walk over there. We're going to hit the silo here so we can warp back later and then see you, Jiggy Wiggy. Don't need him right now. Yeah, get out of my way. Nice. So that's plateau early. There we go. That was nice. So that's GGM early. That's the new trick that Captain Cole found about a month ago. So we're going to walk over here, hit this gate switch. At this point, we just need to collect Jiggies. In order to beat the game, using this route, you need 14 Jiggies and 315 notes to learn Clockwork Eggs. So we come over here. Do a little bit of platforming to get these notes. The jumps can be kind of funky sometimes, so if I miss one, it's no big deal. Yeah, like that. That'll happen. The gate switch gives you a lot of time, so you can do a bunch of different stuff while you're running over here. So that's what we call a flutter cancel. When you take fall damage and then fall off a ledge while you're in the animation, you can actually flutter mid-air and get back to the ledge you just fell off of. It saves a bit of time and it sets me up for a death warp that I'll perform in a moment.
Yeah, so in Banjo-Tooie, they changed it from Banjo-Kazooie to where you don't have any lives in Banjo-Tooie, so most of the time we need to get back to the start of the level. We just run out of health. We just take damage from enemies, or we shoot ourselves with grenade eggs, and that's so that we just get back to the start of the level faster.
This guy's gonna boot me into the Jiggy, and then I'm gonna die off of him. That takes me back to the beginning of the level, where I can get the speed shoes and go do what I need to do next.
So the next thing Emo's going to do is he's going to turn into the first Humbawamba transformation, which is the TNT detonator. And the TNT detonator is really important because not only can we get a couple of quick jiggies with it, but the TNT detonator is also needed to set up DCW, which is the delayed cutscene warp trick that Emo talked about earlier. And DCW is essentially going to put us, when we need it to, it's going to put us in the final boss ring. So it's really important for the run. We use it in every main category except for no DCW.
Do we have time for a donation?
Yeah.
We've got a $50 donation from Kay Lonsway that says, "Way to go, Nick."
Hi, Mom. So I intentionally got hit by that guy. I'm going to set up another death warp after freeing the UFO here. Like SHM was saying, this is the next part of DCW, is freeing the Saucer of Peril. So I'm just going to collect the rest of these notes here, and then this TNT box. It actually will deal 2 damage, but I also take 1 damage from blowing myself up. So that's a nice, easy way to death warp as a detonator.
So coming up next, Emo's going to do a trick called Detonator Levitation. And essentially, it's kind of us overriding the game's controls. When you are detonating while jumping, it's going to force us upwards.
So we're just collecting more notes. We need 85 to learn the move that we need in this level. So we're actually not going to take the shoes here. We're going to take, we're just going to walk over and learn build drill. All right, he didn't do it. So Jam Jars, whenever you learn a move from him, he has a 10% chance to bonk his head when he goes back into his silo. And that wastes anywhere between 4 and 8 seconds, depending on how laggy the area is.
Yeah, all 3 of us took bets before Emo started his run on which move he was going to bonk on. So far I'm incorrect, and Emo could still be correct.
Do we have time for another donation?
Yeah.
All right, we've got another $50 from Ellendras that says, nice stream for a good cause. Love it.
So there's a neat little trick we can do here. Generator Cavern, normally you need to shoot fire eggs at the generators and they'll light up the path. The ladder here actually hangs just low enough. Oops. That you can beak bust up to it and grab it while Banjo's moving upward. And then if you fall from a large height while recoiling from a beak bust, you won't take any damage. So I use that to get back down.
Yeah, so in the new any percent, we get a bunch of jiggies in the second level. We used to not get a whole lot in the second level, just the fast ones. But now that we can spend a considerable less amount of time in the first and third levels, we get a lot more jiggies in Glitter Gulch Mine. So Emo's going to be getting this last jiggy, and then we're going to be on our way out of the second level.
So I don't know what that looked like on the stream, but I have the TV brightness jacked way up so I was able to see what I was doing there.
So normally we were supposed to come over here with fire eggs and we're supposed to shoot up at this switch, but we don't have egg aim. So Emo has to like calculate this shot while sliding down the mountain.
The shot's actually pretty easy, but I've been screwing it up a lot recently, so it's really nice to get it first try. We're going to come over here and learn grenade eggs, which makes our lives a little easier in Mayhem Temple. So that's where I thought I would bonk here.
Yeah, so now there's only one more bet that could be correct, and that's Glorious's bet on Split Up.
So unfortunately, we do have to pay a visit to our old friend Jiggy Wiggy. Got to open up some levels now. Right now, I'm only going to open Mayhem Temple.
Yeah, so we have the ability right now, if we wanted to, we could open up the first and the second level. We have enough jiggies to do so. But we've already been in the second level. There's not really a reason to do it. So we can save a little bit of time by combining that second puzzle with the third and fourth puzzles, which we'll do after we finish the first level.
Yeah, the reason that saves time is because when you leave Jiggy Wiggy after only doing the first one and there's another puzzle to complete, the door doesn't close behind you. So it gives us more
All right, so welcome to obviously the worst level of gameplay here in Tooie. You have to do these like little puzzles before every single world can be opened in every category. That doesn't include cheats. These puzzles can be anywhere from just like incredibly frustrating to really stupid because the hand that you move around, it can be really wonky. It can sometimes put pieces in like spaces that your hand wasn't even close to. And it can just really screw you up. So optimizing puzzles is actually a really important part of any percent since the category is so short.
And that puzzle there actually wasn't too good. I had that one piece at the very end where I had to cross the puzzle to get to it and then cross the puzzle to come back. That wasted a lot of time. So this is definitely the most boring part of the run, is just watching these levels open. And after Mayhem Temple, we're actually going to have a stretch where we watch 3 of them open at once. So if we get any donations during then, that'll be a really, really good time to read them.
Yeah, we're coming up to a really cool trick that's included in the new Any Percent that we didn't get to see in the old Any Percent. But Emo is going to be essentially skipping, turning into the Golden Goliath and kicking open this silver door. We can actually do a very low-flying beak bomb through the top of the door frame. It's kind of a difficult trick, so I'm going to be quiet so that Emo can concentrate.
That's fine.
Nice. Yeah, second try on that clip is really, really, really good. So congrats, Emo, for not wasting too much time there.
Really? So I'm going to ask for the couch's help. Because I got that second try, I'm going to be short on feathers for the end. I'm very likely to forget grabbing feathers somewhere. So if I'm out of Witchy World and I haven't grabbed feathers yet, someone yell at me. So part of the reason the Jinjo pattern we use at the very beginning before the run is so good is there's a cutscene when you grab your first Jinjo. There's also a cutscene where you complete a family. So by getting the white Jinjo first in a very easy spot like that, we skip one of the cutscenes. And it also gives us a Jiggy that we need. And another thing this pattern does is it lets us get both the orange Jinjos in MT as well. So we get 2 Jinjo Jiggies throughout this run.
So Emo's coming up to Slumber the Snake, who's on top of the code chamber here. Normally you're supposed to like tiptoe across the thorns in order to not wake him up, but we can literally just jump right at the Jiggy and pick it up.
And because we have grenades, we can just shoot ourselves off of him. Still doesn't wake him up. Wakes up from thorns, but doesn't wake up from getting blown up. So this is a pretty cool little flying section. I'm going to beak bomb over here, get the Jinjo. There's a Jiggy right up here. I'm going to come down, get these notes. Didn't crash land.
Yeah, so the reason why this Jinjo pattern, Emo was talking about it a little bit earlier, but not only do we have the white Jinjo in a very easy spot in MT, but both of the orange Jinjos are also in MT, the first level. So we can get 2 easy Jiggies in MT just by simply collecting the Jinjos.
Ah!
And
Thank
we
you,
bonked
Jam
on
Jars.
a game. Nice.
Oh, hey, I won the bet.
Wouldn't be a marathon without a bonk. So pretty contrary to every other Tooie route we've had, we actually collect these notes coming down. It's pretty interesting. This is another tricky little flying section. I'm going to try to grab the treble clef here and not crash. Those are pretty decent flies. The flies can sometimes troll you. They really like to be directly above me, and you can't shoot them there. So if you noticed, I have 4 feathers right now. I need 5 for the end of the run. So coming up is the next big source of bad luck in this run, the prison compound code. There's 3 different codes, and you just kind of hope you get it first try. Did not get it first try. Okay, second try's fine.
Let me know when we have time for another donation.
Let me just explain one thing real quick. In all the other banjo routes, we like to joke there's the code. The optimal code is star sun star moon moon. So we always talk about praising moon moon. But in this category, that's actually the one you want least. And now is a good time for donations.
All right, I have $20 from future Mrs. Emo that says, Lanky Kong and I are so proud. You got this.
Thank you, Katie. Yep, shout outs to my fiance and my dog Lanky.
Fun fact, Emo's dog is named Lanky because Emo won a bet against his future wife.
Wasn't a bet, it's fantasy football, it's no joke. All right, so coming up is a pretty hard platforming section. Normally you go, there's a big rock you'll see in a moment. Opens up a room, you go under that and hit the pillars to get the jiggy to come down, but that's slow, we don't want to do that. Alrighty.
Nice. Really good.
Not a whole lot left in MT here. It's going to walk over through the quicksand on the other side of this room to get another jiggy and leave. And then we've got the big puzzle party coming up.
Yeah, this will actually be the last jiggy that Emo has to collect. We used to collect some jiggies in Witchy World, which we'll be going to after we open up all these puzzles. But all we have to do in Witchy World is set up the second part of DCW, and then we'll be leaving.
Yeah, so that's a bit of lag reduction staring at that wall there. This area is really laggy. A lot of Tooie speedrunning is about camera manipulation and lag reduction. This game is massive. It was towards the end of the N64's life, so developers were starting to push the console a lot. This came out in 2000. So I don't have a whole lot to say throughout this, other than complaining about how bad my puzzle luck is. So if we get any donations, don't even ask, just go ahead and read them.
Yeah, we've got about 4 minutes of downtime right now.
Come on.
What he meant to say is there's a lot of downtime, so people should donate.
Yes, keep the donations flowing so we get the get a voice on stream of the donation reader. So even though we entered GGM early, we still have to open it. There's no way to skip doing the puzzle. We have to open the later levels. It's probably about to get loud here. We got HyperX right next to us doing a big giveaway. So I'll take this time to mention we have a bounty out right now for Banjo-Tooie. Currently we need 14 Jiggies so we can go to Jolly Roger's Lagoon to get Talon Torpedo, to get to Klungo 2 to get to Clockworks, because you need Clockworks to beat Hag 1. If you could get into the Klungo 2 loading zone without Talon Torpedo, we know it's possible, then we would skip having to go to Jolly Roger's at all, and that would be a huge time save. Currently, the big block is we don't have no way of getting on top of the Flume of Doom, which is the little yellow wall that you saw when I was learning grenade eggs that you saw right there. So if any glitch hunters out there are interested, that'd be really helpful, because Jolly Roger's Lagoon kind of sucks.
It would really be the next big break in any percent, because we would only need 8 Jiggies. We would never have to go to JRL. Never have to get Talon Torpedo. It would significantly reduce the time of any percent.
This is an example of very bad puzzle luck. I had to cross the puzzle a ton of times.
So we've got a $5 donation from Jovine. This says, I actually liked the puzzles in Banjo-Tooie.
They're fun, don't get me wrong. We don't like them in speedruns, though. So I'm going to reset the console here after a certain amount of time. So what that does is it skips the long cutscene of us watching Jiggy Wiggy laser the Jolly Roger Lagoon door, but it still counts the level as open. So it saves a little bit of time. Hey, I got the PL. So the PL is when you see the press A to play at the very top. The earliest you can get into the game is when it's saying PL. Switchy World is a lot less interesting than in the old route. We're here for notes, a move, and to do the second part of setting up DCW.
So we've got Haginator in the chat asking if you just reset in a no reset marathon.
I couldn't hear that, what?
We did.
Did he ask about resetting?
Yeah. Don't worry, we're going to do it again.
Just for you, Hag. We'll reset once more.
All right, so we're about to learn split up here. Glorious predicted that we would bonk here on this move. If we bonk on this move, it wastes the most time.
Yeah, just look how laggy this is.
Ooh, we were safe. All right, Emo, only because you asked me to, I'm going to remind you that you need to get feathers in Clifftop.
I got him right before.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got him before coming to Pine Grove.
Here's your just super safety reminder then. So Emo's about to show why we needed the goggles. We open up the Saucer of Peril door with a really, really far away grenade shot. And then Emo's going to go ahead and reset the console when we see the saucer box in Fuel Depot. So there you go, 2 resets.
Shout outs to NoReset. So what that does is it stores the second half of that cutscene playing, and I'll watch it back later. And we'll explain it what's happening with delayed cutscene warp as we get to it.
Yeah, we've got a little bit more gameplay before we go into it.
We've got this whole section coming up that we could skip if someone could find Wasteland early.
So this will be the one and only time that we split up Banjo and Kazooie in this run. We literally just need them to open this door into Cliff Top.
Just grab some notes up here with Kazooie. So in here is an optional move, Ice Eggs. It makes the Hag 1 fight a little easier, but the Tooie Overlords will send you to Tooie Prison if you learn Ice Eggs, so we're going to go ahead and skip them.
Yeah, I unfortunately am still in Tooie Prison, but I'm hoping to reform my ways and get out soon.
So I take a really wide angle there because there, if you walk too close to a signpost for the first time, jam jars will come up and say, "This is a signpost." And normally we use that in Mayhem Temple to jump down to the Golden Goliath's Mumbo, but because we're skipping that now, we don't actually walk near any signposts, so I have to take a bit of a wide angle entering and exiting JRL here.
And Emo's just going in here to pick up some more easy notes for the second to last move of the game, which is Talon Torpedo, which we need to access the Klungo 2 gate currently. Nice doubloon.
So coming up, this is a pretty tight swim. I actually am going to run out of air, but unlike in Kazooie, if you run out of air in Tooie, you start draining your health. And it's just close enough that if I do everything fine, I should leave the water with 2 or 3 health left.
Yeah, in normal casual play, you're supposed to take a Mumbo down and oxygenate the water so that you can just breathe underwater the entire time. But that's really, really, really slow, so we don't want to do that.
And you also have fast swimming, and you also have sub-aqua egg aiming, and you also have ice eggs to free
Yes.
the
There are many factors
to shoot
of
the octopus.
JRL swimming that we skip in order to go fast.
So we don't have time to grab all 10 notes here. Yeah, so we don't have time to grab all 10 notes on top of the temple here. We'll die. So we can only grab 5. I'm going to swim straight up because these eels like to troll. So cheeky little beak bust there to skip learning grip, or not skip learning grip grab, but skip grip grabbing the ledge. It's a bit slower than just beak busting up.
We only have one more opportunity for a bonk, so hopefully we don't get it.
All right, so we still don't know what a signpost is. That's good. I, on numerous occasions, have forgotten the route there and forgotten which silo to warp to, and have gone on the Banjo-Tooie World Tour a couple times before finally remembering where I'm supposed to go. So very glad I remembered that time. Yeah, so that was what I needed the 5 feathers for, so Talon Torpedo that rock. You can see I have 19 left. It cost 5 and I only had 4 before grabbing the extra pickup.
All right, so we're going to fight the second phase of the Congo fight. So he only has 2 remaining potions left, green and red. And we're going to hope for green. Green will turn him invisible, and it'll be a significantly faster potion fight. But if we get red, we'll just set up for a better push at the end.
All right, so pretty good luck. That looks actually optimal. Not by much over green-blue, and green-blue is actually slightly easier, in my opinion. And I also missed the shot at the start. But Klungo was nice to us. So I might not be standing in the best spot, but I got the fast kill on him.
All right, so what's coming up next is Emo's going to collect his last 10 notes. He's going to learn Clockwork Kazooie Eggs, and then we're going to be going into our DCW.
I forgot it leaves you in first person there. Don't do it. All right.
Nice. We're saved.
So now we have everything we need to beat the final boss, so we're going to go ahead and do the delayed cutscene warp.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you want to go ahead with it?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and explain
Okay,
it. So
that's fine.
what I've been doing the whole run, aside from collecting Jiggies and learning moves, is setting up the delayed cutscene warp. That cutscene where we free the Saucer of Peril has a special property where, because it's between 2 levels, the game actually saves where Banjo was last seen in a cutscene. So it stores your position as Witchy World if you shoot it from that side. Then it loads the saucer in Fuel Depot back in Glitter Gulch Mine. Then he comes out back into Witchy World, and it actually takes Banjo off the map and then puts him back because it thinks he's supposed to be put in Witchy World. So by interrupting that, we actually stored the last part of that cutscene where the saucer goes out into Witchy World. So the saucer's still going to go to Witchy World. But what we're going to do is we're going to watch the Hag 1 cutscene here. And when I go back into my file and trigger that cutscene, because I was last seen in a cutscene in Hag 1, the game is going to put me in Hag 1 because that's where it thinks I'm supposed to go. And so this was found 3 years ago, combined effort from Chronic Keys and Xcord. And it ended up saving about 2 hours off of the any % route because otherwise you need 70 Jiggies, 500 some odd notes, 545 for Call Climbers, 565, something like that. You have to go through the Tower of Tragedy, which is about 11 minutes of just quiz. It is a long, long run. That category is now any % no DCW. But it was very huge. It was a huge discovery. So I've watched that cutscene, so now it stores that I was last seen in Hag 1 in a cutscene.
Yeah, so it's going to look really weird. We're going back into our file. We're going to enter Fuel Depot where we originally freed the saucer. It's going to show the first part of the cutscene, and during the second part of the cutscene, it'll warp us into Hag 1. So it'll look really weird for those who have never seen it before, but this technically is not cheating. So it is a glitch.
And we do know that defeating Hag 1 like this does actually complete the Hag 1 in our file. If you go up and look at the top of Cauldron Keep, Hag 1's actually gone in the file after this.
So again, here's the first part of the cutscene, and normally we would see the box entering the Witcher world right now, but we go to the final boss instead.
And again, this is the real Hag 1.
One thing that's tricky about Hag 1, or specifically DCW in general, is that our stored position is only temporary. If we were to die right now during the Hag 1 fight, we would go back to Glitter Gulch Mine, and we would have, quote-unquote, lost our opportunity to use the DCW. So it's really important that Emo completes this fight without any deaths, because otherwise you would have to spend the 2 hours getting the amount of Jiggies to go back up to Cauldron Keep.
Yeah, I don't think NoReset would have the patience for me to finish the run if I die here.
Luckily, Hag 1 is usually pretty simple, so we have faith that Emo can do it.
So this game actually gives you Breagle Blaster, which is the first-person mode. It's kind of odd. That's the only move it gives you. If you did not have Clockwork Eggs, you wouldn't be able to complete the fight because it doesn't give them to you. So another trick I was doing was I was switching really quickly from Fire Eggs to Grenade Eggs while I was shooting Fire Eggs. That keeps the fire speed of the Fire Eggs, but lets me shoot Grenade Eggs. Grenade Eggs normally shoot very slowly, and they do the most damage to Grunty. Oh, okay. That's fine.
So these next two phases, Grunty brings out her mortar cannons, which normally are like pretty hard to dodge if you're on the ground. But Emo's just going to jump on top of the drill and dodge all of them. Yeah, the drill actually has no hitbox that can damage Banjo, except for the very tip. So you can literally stand on top of it and not take any damage.
Like I joked about in Glorious Liar's run, wouldn't be a Rareware game if you didn't have to. If you didn't have to look at a floor or a ceiling for lag reduction. The mortar explosions are very laggy. Smoke in general is extremely laggy in these games. And you'll see it later on when there's some of the smoke I just can't avoid looking at.
Yeah, so normally Grunty asks these like quiz questions for those who have like played the game in the past. And if you answer the quiz question correctly, she shoots slower. But us like taking the time to look over the answer choices and pick the correct option is just really slow. So we just skip it.
This is a pretty long phase where I can just stand here and not get hit by the drill when she's coming right at me. I do still have to jump over the lasers, but this reduces even more lag. Lets me grab some extra Grenade Eggs too.
So in this phase, we're going to be using the Clockwork Eggs for the first and second and only times.
That Ugger in there likes to be a troll sometimes. So now we repeat the same phase, except she's got all 4 lasers on. Means I can't reduce lag as well, except to jump more. And you can see when her the back of the tank passes me, the exhaust is just extremely laggy. Must have pressed R an extra time without noticing. Nice blue egg. So those 2 phases right there that I just finished are generally considered the hardest part of the fight to do fast. Especially if you miss the clockwork shot over the laser. She'll start the drill back up and just everything can start going wrong. Yeah, so you can see how slow grenades come out. So now we just spam blue eggs at her. And dodge doofus there. So I'm gonna hit her down to 1 health, and then another cutscene's gonna play, and I have to hit her one last time. Time is when I hit her and lose control. So she's gonna play a cutscene real quick. And time. That's pretty good. That is a solid marathon time. I'll definitely take that.
Yeah, I think a 45:16 is somewhere around 6th or 7th place on the leaderboard. So for a marathon run, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was a really good run. I'm very happy with that. I don't really have anything else. That was Banjo-Tooie any percent beaten as fast as possible without in-game or external cheats. And you guys, I guess quick shout-outs to NoReset, putting on a really good marathon here. Shout-outs to DreamHack. It's been really fun. It's my first one of these kinds of events. Child's Play is a great charity. Keep up the donations. We can hit that 2K during Hat in Time, I believe.
Yeah, I guess the one thing we can say is that Banjo-Tooie any percent, it will be opening SGDQ this year. So if you're interested in the run, yeah, come and watch us open it. It should be really hype. So we're excited.
I also want to give a real quick shout out to my best friend Conditioner. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday, Conditioner.
Happy birthday, Conditioner.
Happy birthday, Conditioner. All right. Let's hear it one more time for EmoArbiter and his amazing Banjo-Tooie run, 10 minutes under estimate. How are you feeling right now? How was your experience?
I'm feeling great. That was a really good run. I've had a lot of fun this whole weekend, so I'm happy everything went smoothly.
I'm very glad to hear it, and it was a blast having you here with us. Basically, so what other games do you run? Do you have anything that you're looking at right now?
I play mostly Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie now. I did a lot of Donkey Kong 64 in the past. And I'm actually doing both Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie 100% in preparation for the 1545 race, which is it's a big race of Mario games, Banjo games, DK64, the old Spyro Crash games, just bringing all the communities together, big relay race. So I'm preparing for that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Perfect, perfect. Well, next up is a bonus run that was actually added last minute. We're going to have NBA Jam single victory on SNES. It's a 7-minute run. It's more of a showcase than anything else, but I'm pretty sure you guys will enjoy. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.